What's going on, everyone? So I made a video diving into the Bleacher Report rankings of big threes. And Austin Reaves, LeBron James, and Luka were the three that were listed, right? And in that video, right, a lot of the comments were, what about Ayton? Ayton should be the third guy. And look, me, myself, I even said when we went and signed Ayton, right, I talked about how, and even made a video specifically on Austin Reaves, that I have my thoughts and concerns that Austin Reaves is now going to be the fourth option rather than the third option, right? Because of Luka going to be the primary option, and he's going to have the ball in his hands, and he's going to operate, 90% of the time, right? It's his team. He's the face. He's the guy. He's going to have the ball in his hands, and his favorite outlet option is the center, the lob threat, right? Because he likes to create that dribble penetration, collapse the defense, easy outlet to the big man. He likes to run and operate in the pick and roll. Like, he likes to play off of his center. You see it in Dallas, and I think you're going to see, you saw it with Jackson Hayes during the regular season, right? And then Minnesota, to their credit, were able to kind of phase that out and keep Jackson Hayes at bay. But the difference is Deandre Ayton, he's not just limited to a lob threat, right? You can dump the ball down to him and he can score in an array of ways. You can even run pick and pop action with him because he can shoot the ball, 10, 15 feet. So he's a guy that, has the offensive versatility, so teams aren't going to be able to prevent and kind of, play the middle ground on that Luka Ayton pick and roll, right? And Ayton's efficiency, he was fourth in the league last year. I believe he's going to be first because he's going to be playing alongside Luka Doncic. Number one last year was Jalen Duren and Cade Cunningham, right? Well, now you're going to have Luka Doncic and Deandre Ayton. Not to mention Austin Reaves, you saw starting to play kind of that way even more with, when Luka would go to the bench and he'd kind of play that two-man game with Jackson Hayes, and you saw Jackson Hayes even eating with Luka. LeBron was even kind of doing that a little bit more often than he usually does. Not saying that they never did that. They did it all the time with Anthony Davis, but again, like, Luka likes that. Like, LeBron, when he's operating, what does he want to do? He wants to look down, take a three, or he wants to create, drive to the basket, bully his way to the basket, and then kick out to the shooters, right? He's like, him and Luka are very similar, but Luka's favorite outlet is the lob, right? LeBron particularly likes that weak side corner three, right? And kick out to that guy. So I do think that Deandre Ayton should and potentially will be really the third guy, right? And then in a post-LeBron era, I actually think Ayton will be the second guy because you don't need to run plays for Ayton. Ayton's going to eat in a multitude of ways. He can also score offensively on his own when you are running plays for him. And Luka's just going to just pick teams apart with him and make him look as good as possible. Like, he's going to thrive. I mean, DeAndre Ayton, think of all the centers that Luka has played with, right? DeAndre Ayton is the best thus far, right? Like talking about the lob threat, talking about the shooting, talking about everything that you can run with Deandre Ayton, right? Like, yes, like Maxi Kleba can do, but he's not to the level of a Deandre Ayton, right? Like this, like, think of what Luka has done with, Daniel Gafford, right? With, Derek Lively. Think of what he's done with these kind of guys, the Max Kleba, like guys that he's been able to help elevate. I mean, Jackson Hayes last year, and then now translate that to Deandre Ayton. I think it's going to be a no-brainer, even just by default. I just think naturally he may end up falling into the third guy realm, which, again, I agree. Like, again, I got a lot of comments in that they're like, why are they doing Austin Reaves when Deandre Ayton is probably that? But that is simple because, again, Austin Reaves, last year even, all of that, we don't know what's going to happen with Deandre Ayton. As much as I think Deandre Ayton is going to just dominate and he's probably going to have the best season of his career, I don't know. I'm just going off of what we've seen in the past and what he's been able to do with guys like Chris Paul and when he was really bought in and engaged. And now you have Luka and the ceiling and the elevation that Luka's been able to do with lesser centers, right? Imagine what he's going to be able to do. Right? It's like all of those things. But there's also the potential that DeAndre Ayton, he still doesn't take things serious. He's not buying in. He doesn't have the motor. Like, there's still those concerns. So I think, when you're talking about the big threes, I think you're going off of like, who are the three best guys that are on the table? It's LeBron, Luka, and Austin Reaves. Those are your three guys, right? Those are the three guys that you need to figure out and see how to make it work. Austin Reaves is expected to be kind of the co-star alongside Luka in a post-LeBron era that, Austin Reaves is going to get 30 plus million on his next contract this offseason, right? Like, it's the perception of like what has happened the last few years, particularly last year, and then also, what is likely to translate this year. And it's like, well, Austin Reaves would be the third guy. But I lean towards personally, and I made an entire video about this months ago, that I believe that naturally Deandre Ayton is going to end up being the third option, and on many nights even may end up being the second option. Right? Like, LeBron's going to go get his, but I think LeBron is going to kind of pick his spots, and you've seen it the last few years, right? Like, how many times have we seen LeBron have like 3 points, at halftime, and then the game's over, and you're like, LeBron scored 28? So he scored 25 points because he just kind of like injects himself. Luka likes to use first quarters, right? First quarter is usually Luka time. He likes to be aggressive. He likes to use that to kind of set the tone and establish himself and kind of see how the rest of the game is going to dictate, right? He's a guy that he wants to go and drop 20 or 30 in the first. He, a lot of times, will take half of his field goal attempts in the first quarter, right? So he's somebody that I think LeBron is just going to kind of play off ball. Same thing with Reeves. But I also think that that's where Ayton, like, I wouldn't be shocked if Ayton is averaging like 12 points in the first quarter, right? Something crazy. Like, where Luka's doing his thing, he's being aggressive, and he's just constantly feeding the beast on the inside in Deandre Ayton, right? I wouldn't be shocked if like Ayton averages like 18 a game, but like half of those points, if not more, are in the first. Like, if you watch the quarter-to-quarter breakdown, like 8 to 10 of those points are in the first quarter, and then the other like 10 are through over the course of the game, right? Because I just think that that's when Luka is most aggressive, and I think that that's when he's going to be looking to feed Deandre Ayton most, right? I think LeBron will kind of play, off ball, catch, shoot three kind of guy. He'll be a slasher cutter. He'll score, trickle in points here and there. But I think when Luka goes to the bench, I think that's when you'll find him being aggressive, like we've seen the last few years, right? What does he like to do? He likes to kind of first quarter let guys kind of figure it out, right? He kind of lets the other guy, like you'll see, he only take a couple shots. Sometimes he won't even take a shot in the first quarter. Kind of lets everyone else eat and then preserves himself. And then you'll see him like trickle in. He'll go get like 3 straight baskets. So now he's got like 6. And then the third quarter will come, and then he'll go and try to get like 3 or 4 straight baskets. And then all of a sudden he's got like 14. And then the fourth quarter comes, and then he goes and he'll go get 8 to 10 points in the fourth quarter. And it's like, oh, he got 24, right? Like, it's usually how he does it. I don't think that'll change. I think that'll stay the same. So, I think within the realm, it could be possible that, because I do think Luka and LeBron will play off of each other. I do think that they will be kind of those guys. But I think like LeBron will be kind of more potentially a floater, like, if that makes sense. Again, he'll let Luka be the workhorse, particularly in the regular season, kind of preserve himself, and then have these just bursts where, because he knows like they can't stop me. He'll just have these bursts, and then he'll go get his 25 points or whatever, because he's gonna get his 20 plus, right? So but I think within the mix and orbiting around Luka, I think it's gonna be Deandre Ayton. And then I think, Austin Reaves will kind of trickle in and be his part. So I don't know. Like, it'll be interesting to see how it kind of all balances out. I just look at, like, okay, again, LeBron's going to do he's going to kind of pick his spots. Okay. He's going to be the second option. Many nights he's going to be the first option. Whenever he wants the ball, he's going to get the ball. Right? It's usually how it works. But I think he'll kind of hang back a little bit, let him do his thing. So I think he's going to be kind of Luka when he has the ball in his hands, which I think is going to be a majority. He's going to operate, and they're going to play. The team is going to play in orbit around what Luka's doing, right? You're going to have guys cutting, you're going to have movement, you're going to have all these things, guys preparing and knocking down catch, shoot threes. I think Austin Reaves is going to be more relegated to a catch and shoot 3-point shooter at times, right? But that's where I think Ayton's going to feast, right? You kind of you put the proper unit along Luka throughout, trickle throughout the game, and then Deandre Ayton's out there with Luka, and he's just picking teams apart and feasting on these opposing defenses. And that's where I think Ayton's really going to thrive. So I do think that there is a very good chance that as we progress into the season, all of a sudden we look up and it's like, oh, well, Deandre Ayton, like Austin Reaves is averaging 15. And it's like, oh man, he regressed. I don't think it's that he regressed. I think, he might even be better. He might actually even be more efficient, right? But I just think with DeAndre Ayton's probably going to average 15 to 20 as well, because I just think he's going to get putbacks. He's going to get, there's going to be times where the ball's running through him. There's going to be times where he just gets the ball, just kind of, makes a play, makes a move. And then there's going to be he's probably going to get 5 baskets a game on average of just Luka feeding him. Right. So he's probably going to be in that 15, maybe 15 to 18 range right now, because you do have LeBron, you do have Luka, or you do have Austin Reaves. I also wouldn't be surprised if they have, if you get one of those seasons where it's just you have, last year you had 3 guys averaging 20. I wouldn't be shocked if they have 4 guys averaging almost 20. Right? Or maybe 4 guys averaging 15 plus, right? So Ayton's averaging 15 to 18, Reeves is averaging 15 to 18, Luka's averaging his 30, LeBron's averaging 23, 22, 23, because I think he'll, drop a little bit. He's going to get his 20 just showing up, but I think I could see him, because last year he went 24 and a half. I could see him around 22, especially with Ayton, full season of Luka and Austin Reaves. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out as we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.